Hey guys, welcome back to another Plan With Me. This week I'm planning from June 23rd to the 29th, and I'm using this Heatwave themed kit from SPC, and this clip art kit's artwork is just everything I wanted this year because I'm quite sick of the majority of summer kits just being like a tropical fantasy. It was very aspirational like when I first started planning, but at this point it's just like my planner's laughing in my face because I will never go on a tropical fabulous vacation like that. And don't get me wrong, I will still buy those kits because they're beautiful, they're aesthetically pleasing. But it was really nice to have a more realistic kit for this week. And I think this is the hottest week of the summer. That's not saying much because every single week, except for last week, it's currently August 11th. So last week it was finally down in the 80s, but every other week it's been in the 90s. So I don't even know if you can call it a heat wave at this point, but this week it was in the hundreds. And I think there were some nights where it was like after 10 p.m. and it was still in the 90s. So it was ridiculous. And this artwork is absolutely perfect for this week. The other thing about this week is that I don't think I have ever done more in 1 week ever in my life. And it could not have happened at a worse time because I was leaving the country the following week. So I didn't exactly want to be doing the most the week before my trip, but everything just sort of happened. The only thing that I did to myself, and that I'm glad I did to myself because it was my favorite thing I did all week, was I went to Pride Quizzo on Tuesday, and it was my idea. I asked my roommate if she wanted to go with me, so I wanted to go, even though I was anxious and upset and pissed off the whole day because all I wanted to do was go home. I'm so glad I went because I had the best time, and we actually did decent. Like, we missed quite a few. Between the two of us, we knew a lot of Pride Quizzo answers, but like, one that I got wrong, and to be fair, she didn't know the answer at all, but I was like, ooh, I know this. I'm so confident. I wrote down Studio 64, and it's Studio 54. And there were a couple like that where we got it wrong by just like something dumb like that. So yeah, but it was just so much fun. I'm so glad I went, even though it was a weekday. Then on Wednesday, I had to be in a music video, and don't get excited. It's not like a real music video. It's my boyfriend's friend's band. And we had been in one of his music videos, I think like a couple months before COVID maybe, and he wanted us to be in another one. And the only day that worked was Wednesday. So Pride Quizzo Tuesday, music video Wednesday. And I didn't get home until after 11 o'clock at night. Didn't get to bed until midnight, and then I was up all fucking night because I was positive that my cats saw a roach in my room. They were just acting very suspicious, and so I didn't sleep very well. And then guess what? Thursday morning, I'm about to leave for work, and a giant fucking roach moseys across my area rug. I almost died. So it was, yeah. I was not being paranoid, which now I'm even more paranoid than ever because I was right. You know when your cats just like stare at something and you're like, it's probably nothing? No, now I'm going to be convinced it's always something. But anyway, Thursday was, I don't know, can you call it a rest day? I didn't have any plans Thursday, but I didn't get any sleep Wednesday, so I really couldn't function much anyway. So it was pretty much a waste of a day, besides working, obviously. Then Friday. Now, Friday, originally, I was not meant to do a single fucking thing. And we had plans a different, I think, Monday night or something like that to celebrate a friend's birthday. But then I think like Wednesday or Thursday, semi-last minute, but not really, they asked if we wanted to go to dinner on Friday because they were like having dinner with a bunch of people. So we decided to do it. The other thing was Friday night, Joe was going to go to his friend's concert. It's like a showcase type thing. And I wasn't going to go. I told him I needed a day off. Like I was exhausted. So he was going to go by himself and I was going to stay and play Hogwarts Legacy. Well, what ended up happening is he said that since now we're going to the birthday dinner, it's going to really be cutting it close for him. So he wanted me to drop him off at the show and then pick him back up. But then the dinner ran so long that he was like really late, and we got there like 5 minutes before his friend's band was going to go on. So he was like, because I was so tired, I was like, I'll just wait in the car for you. There's no point in me driving all the way to your apartment now because you're just going to be in there for like 30 minutes. It's going to take me longer to get there and back. So I was just going to wait in the car for him. And he was like, you can't wait in the car. Just come in. We're not going to be in there long. We're only going to be there for their set because we're so late. And then we can leave and we don't have to stay for the last band, which is huge because he always feels rude leaving before all the bands finish. But he told me that we could leave after his friend's band. So I was like, all right, I'm going to rally. I'm going to do this. So we go and we get to the outside of the venue and one of the dudes from this band is standing outside and Joe goes, hey man, what are you doing out here? Aren't you about to perform? And he tells us that they have switched places with the last band. So now we have to wait. And I am devastated. Now, I really like these people. They're all super nice. Got to see people I like see once every other year. Wonderful, lovely. Doesn't change the fact that I was like running on fumes. I was so fucking tired and I wasn't supposed to be at this concert. And now, not only do I have to wait, but we're like, now we're no longer getting there, just in time. Like I had to sit through 2.5 bands, I believe, instead of one. So I wasn't thrilled about that. Then moving on to Saturday. Saturday, I had a graduation party to go to and I really wanted to go. I was looking forward to it, but because I was so burnt out, I was like in such a shitty mood because I'm not equipped to do this many things. And so I ended up just like procrastinating for way too long. I didn't want to get off the couch. I didn't want to get ready. And then I was rushing because I needed to pick up 3 graduation cards because they're triplets. And the party was an hour and a half away. So 3 hours round trip. It was going to be an all day, all night event. Like we don't get back until like 2:30-ish, maybe 2. We might have left a little earlier this time. We usually get home at a disgusting hour after one of these parties. So that was my entire Saturday. And then Sunday, the only thing we were supposed to do was get ready for our trip the following week. But our friend, her birthday was Sunday. And last minute, because we had already asked if she wanted to go out on Sunday, and she said she couldn't because she would be driving home from a wedding in, I think, Vermont, Sunday. So she was busy. So it was just a no-go. Well, I think Sunday morning she messaged us and she was like, hey, actually, do you want to get dinner? And I was like, no, I can't. Honestly, it was fine. This night was pretty low key. I was okay. This didn't really burn me out at all. And she's a very low maintenance friend, if you know what I mean. Like she doesn't stress me out. I don't have to put on a show for her. So it was okay. But still, my initial reaction was just, no, I've done something every single fucking day. Like, please. And what ended up happening is she thought Vermont was so fucking boring that she drove home a day early. So anyway, we went out to dinner for that. And yeah, so I just had a week. So anyway, enough. Let's get into the day by day. Hopefully we'll get through this quickly. Starting with Monday, the first thing I marked with another one of these girls, I never remember the shop, I marked that I worked remote and it was really busy this day. Then with a stick with the Plan Co Lottie, I marked that I was just feeling really weird and anxious. And I think a lot of it was just because of how busy I was for a Monday. It was kind of annoying. Then with this overheated munchkin from Once More With Love, I marked that it was the beginning of the heat wave. With this squidge sticker, I marked that I walked to the post office on my break with my roommate. During the summer, she worked for 1 month. I'm so jealous. She worked for 1 month, 4 days a week, 4 hours a day. She was home by noon 30 every single fucking day. So I take my break at 2 p.m. So she was home. So anyway, I appreciated her coming with me though, because it was hot as shit and she actually got sunburned. It's an 8-minute walk and she got sunburned. So I kind of felt bad. Then with another Lottie, I marked that I did a back workout. With this F This I'm Out, I marked that I saw a tiny little dead bug on my carpet. It kind of looked like a tiny little beetle or something. Nothing too gross, but I was doing push-ups because I was that's how you do my workout. And my nose almost touched this dead bug, so I freaked out. Of course, I vacuumed immediately. So with this vacuum from Fox and Cactus, I marked that I vacuumed. Then with this paper shire, I think this is like a reality TV, Survivor TV. I marked that I watched the movie Deliverance. This, if you know the movie, this sticker works for it. I hated it. I hadn't watched it for so long because I just thought it was like, it just looks like not my thing. But then my boyfriend was telling me like, no, it's a really fucked up movie. You should watch it. It's right up your alley. And I watched it, and he's not wrong. It is in my genre. But I was bored to tears. Then the final thing on Monday with this Prairie Planner book was that I read. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked was that I walked in the heat wave. It was intense, and I used this sweating emoji to mark that. Then with this munchkin shaking its head, I marked that I was just so annoyed that I was at the office because, as I've complained many, many times, my boss is not in at all during the summer. She is fully remote all summer. My other coworker is fully remote every single fucking day of the year, and it's just me and this other guy coming into the office, not speaking, like getting quote unquote office culture bullshit. So I basically walked in like 95-degree fucking weather. I don't even know how hot it was at this point. I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass, but it was hot as shit, okay? And I showed up drenched, and I was just so fucking pissed off because I could do, no, Brad, no, good boy. He was about to start doing his like scratchy thing on my rug, and I was going, good boy. Yeah. Lie down. Okay, he's here. Anyway, so yeah, it just really pissed me off because I actually think I do a better job at home because I'm more well rested and not dying from like heat stroke. So anyway, I was pissed off. Then with this leftover planner from some kit, I have no idea, I marked that I posted on Instagram for the first time in a while. I think that's what, or I posted a video. It's one or the other. I did finally post on Instagram. I'm so bad at that. I need to get better at it. I used to be decent, but my life is falling apart. So anyway, then with this really old SPC sticker, I marked that I had to go to the bank to pick up euros. With this no munchkin and a Prairie Planner mirror, I marked that I just don't look like her. And if you're wondering what that means, I'm not going to say who because I personally don't want to look like them. I don't find them very attractive. And actually, my boyfriend like thinks they're straight up ugly. So the fact that so many people tell me I look like her really bothers me. But the bank teller who was helping me, she was like, you look exactly like so-and-so. And I was like, yeah, I know. I get it all the time. And then another point while she's like doing stuff, she's just staring at me. She's like, I'm sorry. It's just like, it's so distracting. You look just like her. And I kind of wanted to cry because I don't want to look like this person. So anyway. Then with this overwhelmed squidge from Stick with the Plan Co., I marked that I just had insane anxious energy because, again, I had plans and I'm not good about having plans. Then with this pride sticker from Once More with Love, I marked that Quizzo was so fun. All of that anxiety for nothing. Isn't anxiety so fun? You like ruin your entire day over something that doesn't even matter. Then with this car from the Prairie Planner, I marked that my boyfriend offered to pick us up and drive us home. So it was really nice because it was still like in the 90s when we got out of Quizzo at 10 o'clock at night. And we were going to have to either pay for an Uber or walk home alone in not only the heat, but 10 p.m. in Philly, like, ooh. So that was really nice of him. And I used a Prairie Planner card to mark that. With another Prairie Planner book, I marked that I read, and that was it for Tuesday. Then moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked with this road trip sticker from Stick with the Plan Co. Again, I was a passenger princess this week. She drove, my roommate drove me to work because her summer job, she's working at a different school. She basically drives right by my office. Like, it doesn't really add any time to her trip. The only thing is she has to be at work at 7:30 in the morning, so I needed to be at work at 7. So she dropped me off at 7 a.m. Then with this Once More with Love Munchkin reading, I marked that I read until 7:50 because I just didn't want to log on at 7 a.m. Like, what on earth would I do with that extra time? Like, I just didn't need it. So I read my book. Then with this shocked, I think, Coffee Monsters Co. sticker, I marked that I found out that my new coworker was getting fired. Yeah. Then with this Papershire sticker, I marked that it was just like the longest day ever. I say that very often, but I have a lot of really long days, and this was one of them. Then with this icon from SPC, I marked that Joe picked me up. So I didn't walk to or from the office this day. I felt very lazy, but it was just way too hot. And also, we had to do the music video this day. So then with a Prairie Planner sticker, I marked that I got ready because I went to work looking like a mess. I look like a mess every day, but when I have to be there at 7 a.m., I'm not putting any effort into my hair or makeup. So I got ready at his place before we left to film the music video. Then with this rabbit hole handcraft sticker, I marked filming the music video. With this game sticker from Once More With Love, I marked that we got a free game. It's called, I think, In Vino Morte. It's a really fun game. It's pocket sized, and we filmed the music video in one of those like game shop. Brad, stop. Wait. We filmed in one of those like game shops where you can actually go and play games, and so the owner of the place gave us each a free game, which was really nice. Then the band paid for our meal, and I'm realizing I didn't write dinner. Or I did. Oh my God. So I messed up. I wrote free when I meant to write free dinner. And then under that, I meant to write I didn't get home at 11 and I wrote dinner. So that's where my brain was. But anyway, then with this leftover sticker, I marked that we got dinner for free. With this old SPC icon, I marked that I didn't get home until after 11 o'clock at night. Then with this overthinking, I don't know, Once More With Love, Coffee Monsters Co., I can't tell. I marked that I was paranoid the cats saw a roach. Then moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked with this Paper Shire roach sticker was that I saw a giant fucking roach, and I didn't have time for this shit because I needed to leave to go to work. So I killed it. It was very dramatic, and I flushed it down the toilet, but yeah, I was not doing well, and I ended up putting Janet's food bowl over the roach, and then I slid like a piece of printer paper because I didn't have anything. I needed something that wasn't flimsy. I slid it under there, and then I flushed the dead roach, but it was not fun, and I ended up being 15 minutes late, or leaving 15 minutes later than I wanted to. I actually made decent time because of the stupid roach. Then and this is another one of those girls. I have no idea where she's from. With another sweating emoji, I marked that I was positively drenched when I got to the office, of course. With this printable book, I can't remember the shop, I marked that I read. Then with this is the post office sticker. I marked that I did an Amazon pickup because I try not to have anything shipped to my apartment if I can help it. With this can't be arsed. I'm not British, so it sounds stupid when I say it. Lottie. I marked that I was just suddenly exhausted the second I got home. I was dying. This is the only day that I walked to and from. Brad, can you chill out? My God. I'm sorry. I can't kick him out of my bedroom because it's too hot to close my door. So we just got a deal. Then with this Prairie Planner sticker, I marked that I filmed a video. With this Paper Shire sticker, I marked that for the rest of the night, I just laid around and watched like shit on my computer because I was so tired. I couldn't manage anything else. Then moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that I was remote, and I used another Lottie for that. With another Fox and Cactus vacuum, I marked that I vacuumed every inch, nook, and cranny of my bedroom because I wanted to prepare it for spraying bug barrier. And then under that, with this Munchkin, this is from a moving sticker, but it worked for what I was doing because I had to take everything away from my walls because I wanted to spray the perimeter of my bedroom. So I used that to mark prepping my room for the spray. And then I did the bug barrier, and I used another Paper Shire sticker for that. I had to do it this day, even though I wasn't up to it, because I wanted to make sure that the bug barrier dried while the cats couldn't get into my bedroom. And since I was not going to be home Friday night, Saturday night, or Sunday night, I was able to kick them out, spray right before I left, and then it was dry by Monday. Then with this happy birthday sticker from the Prairie Planner, I marked that we went to the birthday dinner. With this concert sticker that I sort of Frankensteined, I marked I had to go to the show. And again, I'm being dramatic, but it's really not like I had a bad time at any of these things. I feel like guilty complaining because I had fun. I'm just tired. Then with this Paper Shire Munchkin, what the fuck? Paper Shire sticker, I marked that I was completely burnt out. And this is actually, I think, from the Hangover sheet, but it works for being exhausted. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked with this Mad sticker from Fox and Cactus and this Keep Going sticker I've had forever from Planting Roses. I don't even think she makes stickers anymore, but I have hoarded it, and it's orange, so I wanted to use it. I marked that I was in a shit mood and I was doing too much. Then with this Procrastination Station squidge, I marked that I just didn't want to go. Not that I didn't want to go to the party, but I didn't want to get ready. I didn't want to get in the car. I didn't want to go shopping for graduation cards. I just didn't want to. But I used, under that, I used who is this from? I used a Fox and Cactus card, I think, to mark picking up graduation cards. And I was annoyed because I wanted to get them like funnier ones, but because I was on such a time crunch, we just had to go to this random Hallmark store that we passed, and they have the worst. They have the worst cards. So many religious cards and like very lame cards, and they're expensive, but you know, I did my best. Then with these really old SPC balloons and this even older Jubilo sticker, I have no idea if that's still a shop. I think I've had this sticker for over 10 years. I marked that we went to the graduation party. With this Stick with the Planco sticker, I marked that I got to listen to some really juicy gossip. With another Lottie, I marked that I ate like total shit this day. That's the other thing. I ate out 5 days this week. That's disgusting. Disgusting. Then the final thing on Saturday with this bloated emoji, I marked that I had a stomach ache. Like, of course I had a stomach ache. Brad, can you give me 1 fucking second? I have 1 day left, okay? God. Finally, moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that we spent all day picking a rental car. Where we went for vacation, we needed to get a rental car, and I am less patient and less diligent about finding the best price, but Joe wanted to go down every single fucking avenue we possibly could, and we did end up getting a good price, and we were able to go with a company. I really didn't want to do third party. There are so many horror stories about rental cars through a third party. So I was happy about it, but it ended up taking about 5 fucking hours. 5 hours to pick a rental car. To be fair, there were a couple other little things that got sprinkled into that 5 hours, like Joe got some text messages that he had to deal with. I think we also bought a checked bag for us to share, because originally we were going to try to do carry-on and then slowly realized that was not gonna work. But yeah, 5 hours. I was drained. That's way too long. It was the whole day. Then with this emoji getting stuck in a suitcase, I marked that we just did some other trip-related tasks, I should say. With this sad Papershire sticker, I marked that I've just been doing too much and I didn't want to do anymore. With this Papershire sticker, I marked that we ended up in really bad traffic because there was a car on fire. We were supposed to get to the restaurant in 20 minutes and it ended up taking us an hour, like an hour and 5-10 minutes. Then with another balloon sticker from SPC, I marked that it was our friend's birthday dinner. And then the final thing I marked on Sunday, this is big for me, okay? With this squidge holding a cupcake, I'm pretending it's ice cream in a cup. I got my first kid-size ice cream ever. I always tell myself next time I'm going to get a kid-size, and I never do. I always get a small. But because I had eaten just like pure shit every single day, and at the party on Saturday, I had 2 slices of ice cream cake. So I was like, all right, you got to chill. So I got a kid-size. I got, I think, raspberry cheesecake. It was delicious, and I'm really glad I got a kid-size because I couldn't stomach any more after that. But anyway, that's everything for this week. It was a pretty eventful week. I feel like I've been having some more like slow, dull weeks, but this was a lot. And also I'm bummed that my coworker got fired because I really liked her. So that was sad. And we're currently hiring a new person. And so far I'm not like excited about any of the people who have applied. Hopefully they never hear that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.